wish I could caress the lips. Manic depression's a frustrating bitch. It's an instinctual pull, you know what I mean? It's what makes you want to do anything that moves you, you know what I mean? It's that kind of pull that, well, what makes somebody want to surf or what makes somebody want to sing? It's that intangible element of life that should never be defined. There was a lot of music around my house, so it was a constant. You know, the constant music and playing of records and instruments that was going on around my house as a youth is, I'm sure, a large part of it. The sound, and it just pulled me. You know, it was just the sound. Something about the sound and the way I felt when I heard that sound that made me know that's what I had to do and that's the sound I had to make. I started with bottleneck slide guitar, and I really I spent a lot of years working that out to a very frustrating point, and which was good because it was out of that frustration that I made the leap to this instrument, the lap slide guitar, and from there it opened up a world of possibilities and potential as far as songwriting and playing. Well, when you're playing bottleneck slide, you've got it in this position, and it's I can't properly demonstrate without a bottleneck, but soloing, your main solo string would be on the first string here, and you could solo on any string, but it just was limiting. I just couldn't get to where I couldn't get to what I was feeling, you know, which is the worst frustration musically for anyone who plays. And you can also solo on the low string, but that's a little bit hectic. And this allowed me a... That allowed me to solo anywhere. You can go low. You can go from low to high, and just things you just can't. They're so different, bottleneck and lap steel, and it allowed me to. And you can still get the. You can still get the big chords. You know what I mean? And you can. And you can get the sweet stuff still too. You know, with different amp channels and clean and dirty. So it really was. It allowed me to get closer to the sound of, like, you know, the harder music that I grew up with and loved, but it didn't pull me away from my blues roots. This one is a Rickenbacker. It's, I believe this one is either pre-World War II or like during, but because I don't think they did the chrome plating on any post-war Rickenbackers. That's when it went to the white. That's when it went to a narrower pickup. So I'd say this is like 1940, 39, 40. I've had the tuners replaced. It's Bakelite, and it's a short scale slide. It's about 20 inches, 20-inch scale. The Weissenborns, to me, were the instrument that pulled me in. Weissenborns were the instrument that got me playing. I mean, if it weren't for the Weissenborn, I probably wouldn't be doing any of this. It was the first guitar I made the transition from, as far as playing bottleneck, to lap. And if it weren't for the Weissenborn, I don't think I would have had these possibilities, just because the only other lap slides that are really out there, well, there's some electric long scales, but it's mostly like Dobros and National lap steels, and I wouldn't have been able to stick a big fat pickup in the center and start running it through my Marshalls. Well, different instruments just have a way of having a unique voice. Even different Weissenborns, different Martins, you know, different instruments they just have a way, it's their nature to say something different to you, you know, and through them speaking to you different voices are a crucial part of my songwriting. So with different guitars, you never know what it's going to say to you, and since there's always that element of surprise, there's always inspiration coming. Guitars are very lyrical. Guitars are very, very lyrical, and so whenever I pick up a different instrument, by way of it saying something to me musically that's different than another instrument, it inspires lyrics that you wouldn't have thought of. You know, so if you're playing the same instrument, you maybe end up, you know, sort of putting your hands in similar places on that instrument. With another instrument, it speaks you differently musically, so it's going to, again, bring about different lyrics, and so that's an exciting part about playing different instruments.